Hello and welcome to the cryptocurrency news channel. We got some devastating news. These evil hedge funds are banding together to short Tether and try to crash the crypto market. This is an evil plot to crash all of crypto, but I don't know if it'll actually work or not. Tether has very, very deep reserves, and as we've seen, they've honored the one-to-one redemption. If someone honors the one-to-one redemption, it will peg back at a dollar or very, very close to a dollar very quickly. So if you take a short, when you just basically drop it a couple of cents and you take a big short on leverage and they peg it to and they redeem they agree to actually do redemptions, you could get pretty wrecked. Tether has tens of billions of dollars in reserves. We know that because they've actually redeemed over $10 billion in terms of market cap. If you look at Tether's market cap right now, 67 billion. It's gone down a couple hundred million in the last few weeks. But the thing is, them actually redeeming makes people very, very confident in them because we can just always trade it for a dollar at the Tether redemption site. So why do we care if you short it? But they seem bent on shorting it and trying to crash Tether to profit for themselves. So crypto-focused hedge funds are increasingly shorting U.S. dollar-pegged stablecoin Tether amid a bleak market outlook nearly a month after the implosion of Terra UST. But you have to remember, Terra UST is an algorithmic stablecoin that didn't have deep reserves. Tether is at least 50-60% backed by actual cash and cash equivalents, and that makes it much, much harder to short down. And Tether price, it really hasn't been affected. It's still a dollar, so their shorting strategy is not working. There has been a real spike in the interest from traditional hedge funds who are taking a look at Tether and looking to short it. And it's at least hundreds of millions of dollars in positions. And hopefully they all get liquidated and destroyed because they are evil. They are trying to crash the market for their own personal profits, and they need to be annihilated in a financial sense. Genesis and CoinDesk are independent subsidiaries of Digital Currency Group. So basically, Genesis says short positions increased after the multi-million-dollar implosion of UST. Prices of algorithmically controlled stablecoin plunged to a few pennies in late May. But the thing is, Tether's not algorithmically controlled, so they're two different things. Some funds are shorting USDT as a bet on the broader economy as the U.S. Federal Reserve raises interest rates to curb 40-year inflation. But like I said, none of these strategies actually really work as long as Tether is doing redemptions, and we know that they've been doing redemptions for a while. Others are concerned about the quality of assets backing Tether as per WSJ. Now, that is actually an adequate concern. But the thing about that is they have done some external audits, and the thing is when people try to redeem $10 billion worth of Tether, they actually redeem the $10 billion worth of Tether. So it shows that they actually are good in honoring their positions. So at that point, I really wouldn't be worried about the money backing Tether because they're letting people trade one for one. And in that case, like I said, there's just no point in not believing them because if you can redeem $10 billion, it means their reserves are pretty strong. It may not be as good as USDC, but it's way, way better than UST. It's not even the same category. Stablecoins like Tether are backed by fiat currencies and equivalent asset investments. Now, the equivalent asset investments are what people are worried about. If it was just like USD, no one would really care. As you can see, no one's actually attacking USDC because USDC is fully backed by cash and cash equivalents. So funds like Fir Tree Partners and Viceroy Research have previously bet against Tether, citing opacity about the asset's actual backing and lack of audited reserves. Tether officials have, however, denied such risks exist. Now, I think this is all complete BS. I think shorting should not actually affect the price of the coin. You shouldn't be able to short a coin or a stock into oblivion. That should just be a bet, like a sports bet. When you bet against a team, you're not actually decreasing the actual chances of that team winning. As long as, you don't buy off the coaches and the players, which is, by the way, is illegal. If you just make a bet, if a bunch of people just bet against, say, the Golden State Warriors, their betting odds in Vegas will actually go down, obviously. But the thing is, it doesn't actually decrease the Warriors' chance of winning a championship because that doesn't really affect how the players play. And I think it should be the same in the capital markets. If you make a short or a long, it should have no effect on the actual price of the company. It should be a separate market, but that's just not how it works in the capital market. If you do a bunch of shorts, Like you can actually short even a stable coin into oblivion, and that's why I hate futures and derivatives. And that is the reason why I think all this crap should just be just destroyed from crypto altogether. Like the derivatives, margins, and futures, it's too easy for people to manipulate, and it's much easier to control the market, despite what Gary Gensler says, via futures and derivatives than actual via spot trading. I don't think spot trading is nearly as manipulative as derivatives and futures. So I think all that stuff should just be gone from crypto because essentially, like you betting against something actually affects that something's price. Whereas, like, in sports betting, you betting against a team doesn't actually affect the team's performance on the field unless the team is corrupt and their players have been bought off, which is, again, is actually illegal. So I am against all of this nonsense. Like, you shouldn't be able to short Tether into oblivion. You shouldn't be able to short UST into oblivion. If the economy is bad and people want to actually like cash out on these stable coins, they will actually collapse themselves. But the thing is, like, Tether seems to be solidly back, so I hope all these positions get completely liquidated to teach them a lesson. But it is kind of dangerous. They are actually trying to destroy Tether actively, and they're trying to make money from it. I hope Tether resists and Tether destroys them all in mortal combat. It's going to be Tether against some hedge funds, and I hope Tether wins with a flawless victory and a fatality. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.